Well, hello there, ladies and gents. Right, this is the last one from me today. Well, it's not the last one you're going to see. I've been pretty productive today. I've done 3 or 4. This is probably going to fit in the middle of them, but it's the last one I'm recording. Just a very quick one, backing up something I did when the channel first started, 6 weeks ago. I did one called BBC Sackings Part 1, I think it was. It might have been Part 2, I'm not sure. Part 1, I think it was. It's only been watched by 26 people. So I'd like to revisit that and go through the main crux of it. It was a bit long, it was about 15 minutes long. And it got good in 7 or 8 minutes. I'm going to give you the good bit. And it should take, the reason for it is, we now know, well, since I did that, to be honest with you, we now know how stupid and how poor ITV have acted regarding this whole Philip Schofield fiasco over the last 2 or 3 years, really. But it's really coming on to roost now, this last 2 or 3 weeks, how bad they've been within it and how crazy they have been to let it get as far as it did. But when Eamon did his interview yesterday with Dan Wootton, he mentioned, is it Carolyn McCall? I think she was a chief exec at EasyJet or something pretty high up. I think it was EasyJet. And she come over to ITV, and her aim is to make the daytime programming great, but to be all-inclusive, all with various gender, race, and so on and so forth, and to make it a really, really nice channel that ticked all the boxes. And I did something on there, as I say, on BBC Sackings Part 1 and Part 2, and we discussed loose women. So I'll go over it again with you. Now, what you've got to assume is, now I've already up to now, I've been Philip's brother, I've also been somebody that's appeared with Robert De Niro, and what else have I been? I've been something else. I can't think. I've been, what's his name? Dermot O'Leary. Now I'm going to be a number 2 to the producer of Loose Women. So imagine, this is just jest. That's all it is. But this is probably how it happened. I thought the boss there was Martin Frizzell, the guy that runs This Morning, because he has been the boss in the past, but he's not. He's somebody else. But that doesn't matter for this. And this is how it went. They had a chat. The guy that runs, or girl that runs Loose Women, had a chat with the number 2, me, a couple of years ago now, and she said to me one day, you know what we've got to do? We've got to shake up this programme. We need some new blood. We need some new people on here, sort of doing the punditry, not so much presenting, but on the panel. All right, I said, well, what are you looking for? They said, we need something more. We need something what we've not got now. Well, what are you thinking of? We need somebody funny, a bit of humour. Let's inject a bit of humour into the show. And I said to the boss, well, I might have the ideal person. Who's that? They said. Well, we got a taping on the other day of a girl called Judy Love. Nobody knows her, but very funny. All right, what does she do? Well, they say she's a comedian. And what's on the tape? Well, she was going round the roundabout in a car. It was a big roundabout. She was going round and round and round the roundabout. And she was complaining because she didn't know where she was going and she couldn't get off the roundabout. And the boss said, well, that doesn't sound funny. I said, no, trust me, it was funny. Well, okay then. Bring her in, we'll have a word. But anyway, I brought her in and they noticed she was black. We didn't know that. Oh, that'd be great, she said. Bring her in. We'll give her a job. And I said, are you sure, she's only a comedian. Well, it was suit as a panelist. Oh, it'll be fine. Right. A couple of weeks later, she said, we need somebody else. I still need some more new blood. I said, all right, well, who are you thinking of? I'll tell you, it'd be great, the boss said. Let's get Brenda Edwards in. She'll be belting her. And I said to the boss, who's Brenda Edwards? She's a singer. All right, I've never heard of her. Singer. Oh, aye, yeah, she's been on X Factor, the boss said. No, I've never heard of her. Oh, will she be good as a panellist? Oh, aye, yeah, bring her in. So we did anyway. And then only a couple of months later, that was weird. The boss had me in again and said, well, look, still need more. We need more. We've got a panel of 10 or 12, but we want to fill it out. We want some new blood. But who are you thinking of? I said, because I've got nobody in mind. She said, I'll tell you what, let's get Charlene White in. Charlene White said, no, I think I've heard of her. Who's she? She said, she's a newsreader. And as it turns out, I've got a cunning plan. She said it in her best Baldrick tones, a cunning plan. And I said, well, newsreader. What's your cunning plan? I said, more of that later. Newsreader, will that work, newsreader? Of course it will. I said, hey, yeah, you're probably right, because as a newsreader, she's used to talking to the public, and she could even probably front the panel from time to time. The boss said, of course she could. So anyway, got her in. And 3 months had passed and boss had me in again. We still need more. I said, oh, what are you looking at? She said, I've got an absolutely brilliant one for us. I said, who's that? She said, Kelly Holmes. Kelly Holmes, I said. Kelly Holmes. I definitely know her. Is she not a runner? Aye, she's a runner. She's won medals for the country. Belting runner, the boss said. I said, a runner on the panel asking, would that work? Of course it'd work. She said, I'll tell you what, and we're getting out at the right time, the boss said. I said, why? She said, she's just done a 2-page big feature in the Daily Mail. She's just come out as gay. After 30 or 40 years, she's thought she's known she might be gay really, but she's not wanting to tell anybody. She's just come out as gay, and she's done a special on ITV. It's airing next week, letting people know that really she's always been gay and she's come out. She said, it'll be great. Let's get her on. I said, you think it'll work? She said, it'll work, no problem at all, and she'll be the final piece in me cunning plan. I said, oh yeah, you mentioned a cunning plan. What was a cunning plan? She said, every 6 or 8 weeks, you know what I'm going to do? I said, no, what? She said, I'm going to get Judy, Brenda, I'm reading them, Charlene and Kelly all on the same panel. We'll have an all-black panel. It'll be brilliant. We're ticking every box. We can't fail. And we've also got somebody on there that's just come out, so we're helping those of the LGBT. We're doing everything. Oh, I said, it'll work, she said. So that's what ITV will do. They'll look to all these minorities and try to tick all the boxes and whatever else. But at the same time, they'll let somebody who's fronting probably the biggest show that they've got on the daytime run them up with the staff and get away with absolute blue murder. It stinks, ladies and gents. It stinks. There is something wrong there. And as I say, high management, they've got a lot to answer for.